Hello, thank you for watching. Today my Gundam tutorial on weathering will be on chipping, and the thing that I'll be using will be this. So check it out. Hello, welcome back. Kit here. Before you get into the tutorial, if you would like to see more of this type of tutorial in the future, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share the video. Right? So basically today what we're talking about is the chipping technique. It's really, you can think of it as using two types of technique, using layering and highlighting to achieve the effect. I remember I learned this technique from MO by Mickey Menes, right? So basically the concept is that let's say when a thing is wear and tear, let's say in red, in context, right? So before the red get wear off, right? Usually it will fade off to a more lighter color, which is maybe pink, right? If it's deep enough, the wear off is long enough, then you will get into the more inner layer or maybe silver and stuff, right? So basically you can think of it a few layers. Usually 2 layers would be the best. I think that this type of technique really work well on colors like blue, green, blue, red. These are two very good color to work on. Green maybe. Basically you can just adopt this concept. If you have not watched the previous video that I put on the Musha Gundam, you can take a look. Basically the armor itself, right, I'm adopting this type of chipping technique. Instead of the wear out which I explained just now, what I wanted to emulate is better damage, which I'll be doing in this tutorial too. So in better damage, that means that when something gets scratched, right, usually you will see a black mark, right? If it's not deep enough, it's only on the surface. If it's deep, then you see the silver. So basically, you will see these two color layering together, the black and the silver, on top of the armor itself. So for this weapon, I don't want it to be in full black. What I have visualized is to have some red on top. So after I have painted this full weapon, then we will go through step by step together on how do we apply the chipping technique on it, right? It will only be a few seconds of your time, but it will take a while on me, right? I'll see you back again. Alright, welcome back again. So you see that now, this rifle down here, or gun is already painted. Looking good, right? So very different from it. So you see I added all the gunmetal, the red parts, golden and black stripe over all this area. It's really to bring out the whole Musha Gundam vibe. So let's get into the tutorial for chipping. So at first you will want to use a very fine brush, right, for your chipping, because we will be doing very finely. So essentially the color I'll be using is really black, but I added some dark gray to it because I wanted to have a very dark gray that is near to the black, because essentially what I'm doing, the first layer is to build up the better effect of the faded black, right? So you mix black and some bit of gray together to get the color you want. So after mixing, right, so let's go over it. So essentially what you do is that we'll go over all the red parts over it. So what you do is really go to the edge of it, right? Go to the edge of it to really do the highlighting, right? So let's start from the base here. So one thing to note is that usually all this type of thing, for dirt everything, usually you will capture more on the edges, so you can really dab more on the edge. Then you slowly spread out a bit. For the most inner layer that we're doing now, the black, you can do it more, you don't need to do it so sparingly. You can do more heavy, right? But the second layer we'll be doing later on, you will be more, then you will need to do more sparingly. Notice that you see on the gun itself, right? You see this type of edge, then edge, right? As long as you see the turning curve, then you can apply it on. The most important in doing this is really to be random and not really think about it. The more you think, then you will look not so good in my context. You should really just do it randomly, just do it slowly, right? Wherever the brush touch it, then and it will be it. Don't worry about messing up. I think the first few try when you're doing, it won't look as good as you think. But after a few try, then you will start to get the hang of it. Right now, I don't think I'm very good yet. Still, but it's fun to really do it. Really go little by little on all the edges. Put this on so that my hand do not get stuck with all the paints, right? Let me continue. You see, like even this line down here, I will go through both sides to really because those are all edges counted. As long as you can see edge around, then you should do it. Later when I add on the second layer, then you will see that everything will start to pop together. So do not worry about it now. Of course, when you are doing like for all the 144 and 100, then it will be a lot easier. But because this is very small, so it tends to be a bit challenging. I know you know that when you're looking at me do, it looks a bit messy because it tends to go all over the place. That's how I do things usually. But of course, you can do it part by part, slowly trace so that you won't leave out any areas. If that does really make it better for you. So if you want to ask me like, am I going very random? Yes, I'm going very random. One thing is you just need to take note like which of the part do you think that that when using a gun, right, is the part that get most contact with the skin and stuff. Then for those parts you can really put more applies more on it. Right? If let's say I think that he will not only hold on the handle, he will sometimes hold on the top and stuff, then I will go more crazy on it. If not, then you can do everything sparingly. Right, do a check. Yep, a bit more. Of course, you don't need to follow exactly. It really depends on how much other damage or weathering effect you want to create, right? So, like I said just now, you usually will do all on the edge. Those non-edge, like all this in the middle, of course you can also do it, but those areas maybe you can do a bit of it. Like let's say on top here, maybe I wanted to go like a bit, right? That's possible too. But edges will usually be the part that are most wear out in terms of like all the stuff out there. Just really going on a bit more. You can stop here, of course. And yep, this is the whole thing on the first layer. Add a bit more here. Do not need to worry about how your brush go, just let it flow itself, right? So imagine like this first layer already make it looks quite weathered out and quite nice, right? So the second layer that we'll be doing, we'll be using a silver in color. You can use any type of color. Preferably more silverish. Usually I use the polished metal, right? This is by the Ammo. Really depends on you what type of color you want, as long as it's a more silverish color to show the inner frame. So exactly what we will do is the same process as just now, but instead of going more randomly, now we'll be more control. It should not be it should be even more sparingly than the black, right? So essentially what you need to go, this is like a layering, so look really carefully on where is the black that you created all the lines on, and what we will do is really to paint back inside the black part, right? So like you see a bit down here, so I will go just a little bit on the black parts. But of course, if you want to go over the outside of the black part, it is possible too. But if you are doing that, then don't do it that much, right? Because like I said, usually the outer layer will get scratched first. So those should be the part that they should look more. Same thing, the edges should catch most of it. What my brush is really doing is really just dabbing in little by little. Yes, I'm going through all the place again. Essentially, if you compare to the outside here to the inner area, the outside area that most protrude out will of course be the one that will get more weathered usually. Make sure your paint are not very thick, because this is a really miniature figure down here, right? You can do it as much as you want. Like handle area or this type of bolt area, right? Essentially, if you think of it, this type of area will move the most. Then you would think that I would think that you should get more weathered around this area. So you really need to think of the mechanism of the weapon that you're doing on, or even armor itself is the same concept. Just really need to look at how you wanted to. What is the part that should get most contact with, then those should be the part that are more weathered. If you look at my Musha Gundam, it's very weathered, so for this weapon itself, I cannot get it too little. I need to both have the same type of amount of wear and tear. So which is why you are seeing that I'm really doing quite a lot. So everything needs to be uniform. So if you are doing wearing and tear a lot on the mobile suit itself, then the armor itself should also do the same amount of band tag. Of course, the main focus, like I said, it should be on all the layered parts. If you want to do on like all the other black parts, it's possible too, but really think of whether how much you want to do it, right? Really sparingly. Of course, another way is really to use dry brushing also. That's another way you can do, right? Right, so this is how it looks right now. See, the silver layer is layering over on top of the black parts that I did just now. Looking very good, right? Yeah, so this should be all for this tutorial now. Once again, if you like this type of content and want to see more in the future, you can please like, subscribe, comment, share on the video. Following on right now, I will do a bit more dry brushing on certain parts to make it even more better damage, but essentially this is all for this tutorial. For dry brushing, maybe I will do it in another tutorial. So I'll see you again next week. Right, bye bye.